Today I'm going to talk about British ice hockey, and it is focusing on the biggest rivalry in Europe, or well, what used to be the biggest rivalry in Europe, and I'm going to explain how I will fix the situation. This is episode 1 of Adam Fixes. So let's start with a bit of background on the matter. So the Nottingham Panthers are the OG in the British ice hockey scene. They've been around for years. You know, they are the team to look at for the history. And then you had these little upstarts called Sheffield Steelers, who were founded in 1991. They moved into a jazzy new arena, you know, which seats about 8,000 people. They had money to spend, they could get some quality players in from abroad. So Nottingham, you can see, got a little bit jealous of the success because Steelers came in and just started winning. And you had this, you know, old-fashioned team. They were like, well, what the fuck's going on here? So the rivalry simmered nicely, and then in 2001, it exploded. So that was the famous 2001 bench clearance in Nottingham, and that was when the rivalry was just, that's it, it's cemented in history now. Sheffield and Nottingham, they despise each other. Over the following years, again, Sheffield continued to win. Nottingham went years and years without a league title. Their last league title win was 1956 at this point, and Steelers came in and they were winning everything. They were even completing a Grand Slam, which is you win everything you enter. You know, that is a standard, and it continued to build, and my first game was in 2009. Now, I am a loyal football fan. Sheffield United are my team, and I went to this game, and I've never seen a fight in sports, because, you know, fighting football, you get handbags, but yeah, Ryan Finnerty of Sheffield Steelers and Bruce Richardson dropped the mitts, and, well, this is what happened.
It only took 10 minutes for tempers to flare as Ryan Finnerty and Bruce Richardson dropped the glove following a vicious body check against the boards.
So you can already see I was hooked. So that was 2008, 2009, and the following season I had a season ticket. So I was fully committed, and I had one for about 3 years. And then I got my job, and I had to just basically, I couldn't go to every game. That was the long and short of it. But the rivalry was there. Every Boxing Day on the 27th of December was set aside for Sheffield v Nottingham. This was like, you know, it all built up. So where the fuck did it go wrong when their rivalry now is just dead in the water? I can pinpoint the moment that the rivalry died. And it was this moment in Sheffield when Simon Ferguson scored a goal. Now Nottingham's Kelsey Wilson literally goes up to him with his stick and smacks him.
Ashley Tay then got his goal.
Yeah, I mean, great play from behind the net.
Here's the big talking point of the night: Simon Ferguson, Kelsey Wilson.
Yeah, stepping off the bench and making this sort of play is totally you know, unprofessional. Let's put it that way. You know, it's a blatant attempt to injure, in my opinion. You know, you're not going against a guy's shin pads or something like that to give him a little.
Like literally a full slide, like just a baseball swing. And I sat there, right, and if that had happened 5 years earlier, you know, well, any time earlier, if you saw your mate getting absolutely assaulted, you'd be in. And you look at the rivalry, the bench clearance, the Finnerty and Richardson stuff, they just hate each other. You can see the teams hate each other whenever anything happens. They pile in. You know, that's the brawl, that's the beauty of it. You know, alright, it's violent, but they hate each other. That's what you want. And this happened, and I sat there, well, I stood up at this point when I saw it, and I went, fucking hell, he's done. And no one did anything. Literally no one did anything. Like, Ferguson got up himself and went to fight him and then crouched over in pain. But none of his teammates, nothing. And I sat and went, wait, a Nottingham player, our despised rival, has just assaulted one of ours and no one responded. And I went, now something doesn't add up here. And over the next few years, it went from like a North American style of physical power in to speed and, you know, skill. And it just gradually died. And I can tell you when it kept getting worse. So in this series, I'm going to say what I'd do to fix this. So this is how I'm going to fix the fucking shambles that is the Steelers and Panthers rivalry. So point 1, the league system. Now this year, thank God, we scrapped the conferences. So in effect, our league had a maximum of 12 teams. 12. And we had 3 conferences. So each conference had 4 teams. Like, you look at the NHL, it's just, I sat and went, no, you can't have 4 teams. And the thing is, they put the Steelers and the Panthers in the same bloody conference. So, for argument's sake, let's say Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, we went 5 years without playing each other. And when Sheffield United got promoted, literally they went in and that match was fucking tense. I've never been so nervous before a game. Because it means something. You haven't played them in ages. You know, and you go in and you want to silence them. Whereas when you're playing each other every other week, I mean, here's the schedule. Like, you look, and they're playing each other 12 times a season. And I sit there going, like, if we played Sheffield Wednesday 12 times a season, there'd be a point when I go, yeah, well, Wednesday again. Fucking hell, this is 8th game this season. You sit there and, like, you just lose that. It doesn't mean anything. So, point 1, if we're going to do a conference system, Panthers are in one, Steelers are in another. Instead of playing each other 12 times a season, you play each other 3 times a season or 4 times a season. Because that way, each game means a lot. It'll drive your attention. Point 2. Oh my God. So we have the worst cup system in the world because it is just so prolonged. Like, it needs to just be a knockout. Just a straight knockout to find a champion. But instead we have to go through another group. You know, and again, Steelers and Panthers are put in the same fucking group. And I'm banging my head against a brick wall going, right, so we're already playing each other X amount of times in league. Why are we now playing them, you know, another 2, 3, 4 times in the cup? Just stop putting each other in the same fucking group. Split them up. Point 3, and this I didn't know when I chose to do this video, and I looked and I went, fucking hell. So like I mentioned earlier, tradition, Boxing Day and the 27th of December are set aside for the Sheffield Nottingham games. That has been, since I started going, and you know, people I spoke to, that has always been, you know, over the most recent years, that is the thing. Every Christmas, you get your presents, and then when you wake up Boxing Day, Steelers and Panthers, big game. This year, they scrapped it. Literally, it isn't even a thing anymore. And I sit going, this is touted as the biggest rivalry in Europe, and there are people who still believe this is the biggest rivalry in Europe. How? How is it? So, yeah, so far we are putting them in different conferences. Cup competition, just get rid of that format, and no groups, straight knockout. If they meet in the final, it means something, because it's the final. Sheffield Nottingham, one of them's going to win the trophy. That's good, that's what you want. And then point 3, Boxing Day has to be reset to the Panthers and Steelers. Maybe only 1 game, not 2 back to back, 1 game. So you know one of the 2 times you play each other is Boxing Day. It's going to be set aside, like, you know, it's going to be full. Whichever arena it's at, you can alternate each year. It's going to be full, it's going to be rammed, everyone's off work, fucking spot on. My 4th point is social media. Right, this one fucking got me. So, Nottingham somehow won the equivalent of, like, you've got like the creme de la creme, the Champions League. They won the next step down, the Continental Cup. They won it. And that is unexpected for a British team. They really did go above and beyond. And the first team to fucking congratulate him were the Steelers. Now, something happened when Sheffield United got promoted to the Premier League, and Sheffield Wednesday put a statement out congratulating United, and their fans fucking went mental about it. Like, why are we congratulating our enemy? And when Steelers put this thing out, all the Steelers fans were like, oh yeah, well played Nottingham, yeah, Nottingham, well done, Britain, yeah. And I sat there going, right, okay, so this again, I'm going to put the words out there, the biggest rivalry in Europe. And we're congratulating him, fans are congratulating him, all staff are congratulating him, players are, and I'm just sitting there going, you can have that respect, but you can't really say you're enemies and then praise each other. That doesn't work. You know, you need to hate each other. And this is the thing, there's clips David Sims, who's like the media guy, the announcer, he's Steelers through and through. And there's clips of him, like, from the past saying, like, I hate Nottingham. I don't speak about Nottingham. And it's the same from Nottingham's side with Gary Moran, who says, I hate the Steelers. Who are they? I'm not going to say their name. And that's where we're at now. You know, it's changed so much, and I sit there getting so frustrated when I sit and watching my friends on social media still claiming that this is the biggest rivalry in Europe, and I sit there going, no, it's not. It used to be. So I've given 4 points. Right, social media, none of that. You slag them off. You take digs at him. Have little jabs. You don't say the name. Like, you know, what we could do when you say Nottingham Panthers, it's just Nottingham and then just like asterisks. You know, just little sly digs like that. Build it up. You know, build the hatred again. Make it the rivalry, because the thing is with this rivalry, it puts bums on seats. I went to it when my friend was like, Sheffield and Nottingham, they fucking hate each other. It's going to be great. They're going to fight. And I went to it like, yes, went in. And now if you're at the university, you come to Sheffield and you're told, Nottingham, Sheffield, big rivalry, and you go, and you go to the game and then it's just, you're going to lose interest. So how are you supposed to draw the fans in when you haven't got a rival team? You know, and you can't say like, oh, let's get, you know, God rest their soul, Edinburgh Capitals, who went bust, who we spanked 17-1 every week. You can't get them in to be a rival because you're battering them. It's not funny. So, yeah, 4 points. Groups, cup, social media, just Boxing Day. Build it back up. That is how I would fix this rivalry. It can happen. Honestly, honest to God, if it went back to how it was in 2008, this could fucking work. Please, both of you, do it.